Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 8 of the anime series, Gabriel DropOut. And once again, we're back to the vignette format, and I gotta say, this episode wasn't nearly as funny as some of the previous episodes for me, personally, but I still did get a few laughs out of it. Of course, starting out with a fitness test for everyone, and Gabrielle wants nothing to do with this. She's a lazy bum. She's become thoroughly a shut-in lazy bum, and it's like her kryptonite. She was from Krypton. The idea of doing any kind of fitness, PE, any kind of stuff like that is her kryptonite. She wants nothing to do with it. She has to be sort of goaded into it by Vinay, who's like, I'm going to give you this food that you really like, if you complete the fitness test. And we have Raphael. Raphael starts the whole episode off. Interestingly enough, she's apparently the one who could take the cake of everyone. I guess her physical prowess, her sportsmanship and everything like that, she's the one with the most talent. And then we see, because she's got a tight bra, it's holding her back the entire episode. I don't think I've ever thought of an anime character's boobs as much as I have in the first half of this episode, during this entire fitness test sequence, because she's constantly rubbing up on them and like aware of the fact that the bra is going to pop at any moment and everything, And we see Satania kicking all kinds of ass. Talk about sports like prowess, coming from the least likely candidate of the main cast of characters, whereas Gabrielle's a complete slug. She's not doing anything. Satania's kicking all kinds of ass, and because of Raphael's being held back by that bra, by the worrisome nature that it could pop at any moment and she'll be free falling, free flowing, whatever you want to call it. I have to wonder if we had actually seen Raphael, no holds barred, would she hand Satania her ass? Satania has completely, by the end, almost won everything. I mean, she's doing the stretches, she's doing the fast-paced jumping back and forth. We see Gabrielle rolling on the floor across the lines and everything, rather than even being up on her feet. And when it comes time she thinks she's done, she runs away like nuclear fast, and Vinay's like, we got one more thing we got to do. And they're running at a snail's pace. Gabrielle's just that lazy, and Raphael's just worried her bra's going to snap and everything. So, I love, though, in her almost dying, her last gasps of breath, Gabrielle's like, pass a message over to Raphael. Please don't let Satania win, because we're never going to hear the end of it. For the next week, she's going to be going on and on and on about how tough she is, how badass she is. She's going to be rubbing it in our faces. And finally, Raphael warms to the idea, no, we can't let that happen. I got to do something. And so she challenges, of course, Satania to a race. And at this point, it's like, it reminds me of that Animatrix short where the guy's running as fast as he can, only instead of the leg exploding, in the case of that short, it's, Raphael's bra. But she manages to win because I guess I don't know whether she did it on purpose or inadvertently, but she snapped the back of Satania's heel. And this made Satania do like a crazy amount of flipping around in the air. She's like flying for 3 seconds, and she does a perfect landing. And I'm just like gobsmacked at the prowess that, Satania has. But of course, because of this, she didn't even realize that Raphael kept running to the end, and Raphael subsequently won, all that kind of stuff. And then she tries to get back at her later, like the amount of, I guess you could say, psycho warfare going on, where Satania knows how Raphael is, and so when it's raining at the end of the school day and she forgot her umbrella, Raphael comes up and is like, here, you can share mine. And Satania is scared out of her ever-loving mind that Raphael's up to something. And then, of course, the tables turn, because once the rain goes away, she finds a frog, and apparently Raphael is scared to death of frogs. And so, that whole aspect of it, I love that Raphael was more in sort of center stage in this episode, even though it was more ensemble than, say, the previous episode that was very much Vinay-centric. I kind of hope we get a Raphael-centric episode, which was something one of you cats brought up in the comments on my last episode discussion video. And I very much agreed with. I would love to see an episode dedicated to her, to get to know her a little more and try to understand why she's so sadistic and manipulative and why she gets off on messing with people so much. But then, of course, in that vignette pattern, we have the interview for sort of jobs phase where Vinay and Satania are sidled up together with glasses, sunglasses. Me? No. The teacher. Apparently that's their inadvertent nickname for him. And Satania has gone to Gabrielle looking for advice. Her angelic qualities have bestowed upon Satania a book of all the greatest, insane stories that came out of interviews that moved the world, shook the world. And so Satania walks in, you have Vinay being absolutely straight-laced. One of the things Vinay says speaks to her nature. She's like, I really, thinking of a job interview, I really want to work for this company to better the future of people, to make it more beneficial and to help people and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, that's exactly who Vinay is. She's supposed to be from hell, and that's who she is. She's a compassionate, loving, angelic, arguably, soul. And then Satania is like the rock star in this interview process. She's got, I don't know where the hell the cat came from. She snuck in like a devil cat that can psychically talk to Vinay and calm her down and everything. And she's like, I feel so good. She's going, like James Brown on the guy. And the whole time, this teacher, this bald sunglasses wearing teacher, is completely dead silent. I mean, he's not saying anything. And Vinay's like, how is she getting away with this? How is this happening? Am I in Strange World? Am I in the Twilight Zone? And when they go to leave, of course, then we find out Satania, that's when the other leg drops. She's completely getting chewed out, gets in trouble for all of her behavior. And finally wrapping us up with the episode is what I've dubbed loosely in my head, the cooking class phase, where for all intents and purposes, the class president has, been sidled up by Gabrielle, because she's so lazy, because she's the gamer at home and such a shut-in, all she's doing every day is gaming. The microtransactions have wasted every last bit of her stipend that she gets, her heavenly stipend, her savings, and she's got no money even for, lunch or food. I don't know if this is supposed to be the end of the day or what, because it's cooking class club that she ends up sidling herself up into with the class president, who's the overseer of it, and two of her other classmates who she doesn't even know, and I gotta admit I haven't learned their names either. They said them and just boom over my head. But Gabrielle uses this as a means by which to get essentially free lunch, free dinner. It talks them into making the best food they can make and dessert, and she gets seconds. And that was pretty hilarious that she tried to mold them into thinking, instead of cooking class, it's going to be taste test class from now on, or club rather, from now on. And I'm going to come in, I'm going to taste all the food you guys create, I just loved it. And also calling back to talking about how conniving and full of herself Satania is when Raphael actually beats her in the whole race thing. She gives Raphael an air quotes medal, and it's just made out of cardboard and some ribbon, some really cheap ribbon, and there's a staple on it and everything. And so, I mean, there were aspects that really struck out to me that did make me laugh, and I did get a kick out of. Overall, compared to the previous episodes, it wasn't as funny and wasn't as laugh out loud as some of the previous. And that could also be because I'm just feeling really under the weather at the time of watching it and recording this video. And whenever I'm feeling under the weather, things are just not as funny to me as they usually would be. But it was still wholly an enjoyable episode from beginning to end. I love seeing these characters interacting. I love when they're challenging each other to hilarious effect. And it's like I said, I would love to get a Raphael-centric episode to really learn more about her. We had that with Vinay. Arguably, Satania has taken sort of the limelight in almost every episode in different ways, shapes, and forms. And she's definitely the standout character. Gabrielle, in her own way, she's the titular character. And we know a lot about her and everything, but it's kind of like the one-punch joke of her constantly being a lazy bum and finding the easy way out. Raphael, I'd love to learn more about her in a similar fashion to having a whole episode dedicated to Vinay as we have. Just to get to know maybe why she is the way she is, or see more hilarious hijinks that she's been the mastermind behind and everything like that. And so yeah, bring on the next one. That'll be pretty much it for me on this. With this video, find you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.